Hi, Sinner. Thank you to Amelia from Arizona and Vicky from Addington, London. You guys are the freaking best. Your reviews and ratings made our week, and we just wanted to say thank you. That helps us so much. We cannot wait for you guys to listen to more about us, and thank you for the little messages on Instagram. You guys know that we're always trying to be very interactive and talk to all of you as much as we can. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And you little sinner listening to this right now, if you want to help us too to grow the podcast and, be like vegan, whatever, the way you can do that is rating our podcast 5 stars. If you're listening or watching us on the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe, like the videos, not one, like all the videos, and comment. We really appreciate that. That helps us so much. So really, thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to follow us in all social medias. Everywhere we are as at Come With Us Pod. Everywhere. You can find us like that. You can always leave us comments, follow us. If you want to DM us, we're always there. Why not? We love you. Hello and welcome to Come With Us, a podcast to meet all your fantasy needs. I'm Sussy Nunez.
And I'm Reshea Kelly, and we're here to dive into the tempting world of books, seductive romance, and a sprinkle of spice.
Actually, today I'm like matching Autumn's type of vibes.
You know what you're giving? You're giving what's her name? Poison Ivy from Batman. Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to episode number 7 of Come With Us, your new favorite podcast. I'm Sussy Nunez, Lucian's lover, and today, because of my hair and like my eyes and the outfit and everything, I'm giving Autumn Court. And not gonna lie to you, I'm living for it. I love it.
And I'm Reshea Kelly, so sleep deprived, but so well read, you would have no idea.
We hope so, because the episode today is so good.
Yeah.
So, Reshea, what is your palette cleanser by Miara? Is the last palette cleanser you read?
I just finished Neon Gods by Katie Robert.
Katie Robert, yeah.
Yeah, and it was such an amazing fluffer book. Well, fluffer means something different, but
Buffer?
Buffer book. It was great because it was I don't know, it was just like a lighter read. It kind of reminded me of the depth of Ice Planet Barbarians, but make it Greek gods and goddesses. I really think that you would like it.
No, I think that came with my Amazon Prime, right? I told you about it.
We both got it on Prime Day.
But I had it on my TBR since like the beginning of the year. So I promise I'll get to you. I promise.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, do you remember when we were talking about in Acomath, we were talking about how you wished that Rhys was kinkier than he was? And he was how he was kind of like hinting that he was gonna be a bit of a daddy dom in the inn scene, and then he just ended up being pretty vanilla. This book is, what if Rhys was a kinky bitch? What if in the Court of Nightmares, when they went with Feyre in the black dress, what if he actually did finger her in front of everybody?
He does that in that book, like this guy. Ooh. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. I promise I'll start. I'm gonna start soon. What's her name? Crescent City today, probably. So you're gonna. I promise. I have you in my heart. You are the second thought.
Just giving you side eye the whole time. Your whole TBR is just like, really?
There is a guy on TikTok that does that. He basically becomes his books, and he's like, you know that book that you never read, and he's just there collecting dust and whatever. And he's like, yeah, and he makes recreations of like what the books feels and stuff. Is so good. I recommend. He's hilarious. Okay, for me, of course, you guys know my buffers, my palette cleansers. Forever Ice Planet Barbarians. I love it. I actually paused it. I haven't read anything from Ruby Dixon. Like 3 weeks, I think. I miss her so much. I miss my babies, my blue babies so much. But whatever, it's okay. I've been reading other things too. Definitely Ice Planet Barbarians. And my last one that I thought it was going to be a buffer because I thought I could like put it down and when I finish and not read the other ones. And I couldn't because it's so good. It's the Salacious Players Club. If you remember from episode 3, Tierney, she advises to read those. She recommend those. And oh my god, guys, those sinners. Oh my god, you guys, I'm choking because yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Like I yesterday I finished book 3. Give me more. Is a polyamorous relationship, kind of like a white shoe situation.
Oh.
But you guys, I'm sweating, and it's not because it's hot. It's the book is hot. It's so good. I recommend. Once you put one down, you want to read the other ones ASAP. So I don't know if I could say it's a palate cleanser, but oh my god, they were so good. They were a really nice rest to everything that I'm reading. Fourth Wind and everything that is war and all of that. It was really good. Just a lot of smut, a lot of sex, a lot of kinky things. It's a kinky series. So even I am learning new things. So I recommend. I really do.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. That reminds me, I saw this video, I think it was on TikTok, where somebody was like, a lot of people ask what the difference is between like a poly relationship and a why choose relationship trope. And she goes, think about it this way. A polyamorous relationship is a Christmas party and everybody is there and mingling with each other in these different things. Why choose is like a birthday party where one person is the center of attention.
I never thought about it that way.
Right?
I don't want a poly relationship. I want a white choose life.
You just want to be the center of attention.
Okay, I
It's
might cry
okay.
right now. I might cry right now.
You have to talk. Just kidding. I know I told you that I was poly a few weeks ago, but
I'm
I
like,
changed my mind.
no. Okay, I need to revise everything in my life right now. I'm not gonna do it now because we're here. But oh my god. Okay. So Reshea, if your life was a book, what would your week be titled this chapter week? I lost myself right there, but you know what I mean.
This week was actually a pretty rough week for me. I had 2 friends / mentors pass away from cancer this week. And then my mom just texted me this morning and told me she has to put my cat down this week.
Oh no.
So
No.
I think he's 16, so he's had a good run. But yeah, it's still sad. His
I
name
think
is
he deserves this time now to just rest.
so his name is Mr. Meow Meow. I did not name him.
Of course. I love it. I love it.
Okay, because I think it's not the greatest name for a cat.
I love it.
But, I want to dedicate this episode to Mr. Meow Meow. He was an alcoholic.
Damn, Mr. Meow Meow, you were living the life. Love that for you.
He loved a screwdriver.
Whatever. But is he dead already or not yet?
No, he's just
Whatever
not
you're
really eating
going.
or anything.
Thank you, Mr. Meow Meow.
Yeah.
You are the best. Awesome. Awesome. No, not awesome, but damn.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so the chapter title would be Cancer Sucks. I don't know. Or
yeah, I like that. I mean, it's true.
Transition.
If you're a Cancer zodiac sign, we're not talking about you, babes. Even though your name,
I didn't say cancers suck.
I know, but
Cancer sucks.
Cancers, they take that very personally. Like, really, they always start complaining about their names.
My mom's a Cancer.
Moving on.
How about you? What would, if your life was a book, what would the title of your current chapter be?
Don't die of pneumonia / having a lot of mucus in your system.
You're just well lubricated.
Stop, that was disgusting. It's been rough, but again, after a sickness, I always come out like very strong, so I'm ready for that. I'm kind of tired already of not coming out strong, but it's coming. I feel it. And I did a meditation this morning, and it was like a new beginning, a new, like a yes, all the mucus out of my system. I'm new. I know I am. So I'm ready. Yeah, I will say title. Try not to die, dumb bitch. Maybe. Yeah, because it's been rough, but I'm alive still alive. Yes, we did it, Reshea. So, what are we discussing this week?
We're on to A Court of Wings and Ruin.
I
I said
know,
it like that.
finally. Yeah, that was a little bit weird, but I loved
I'm
it,
so
babe.
sorry.
Aqua War, even though this book is not the spiciest of all the 5 books, even
It
though it's
doesn't need to be.
honestly, the whole thing going on in this book is just mind blowing. It's so good. Like the war and the strategies and the conversations and the meetings and then all of the bad people and the good people. Oh my god, they're so good. They're so
Yeah.
good, really.
The espionage and the spying and oh my gosh, there's so
Everything.
much. I hope nobody is expecting us to touch on everything that happened in this book because it would be a 7-hour long podcast. It would
Yeah,
be
no,
forever.
we're definitely nard.
We do have an extensive list of things that we definitely need to get off our chest.
So, sinners, this episode is going to be from chapter 1 through chapter 42.
We actually I'm pretty sure we forgot to mention at the end of the last episode that Feyre is freaking High Lady.
I think we did.
You're the one that said that we didn't, so we put it on the list.
Maybe we didn't then. My mind is playing games right now. So
Just go
guys,
with
don't
it.
mind me. Don't mind me. And yes, Farah is High Lady. She has powers and she has one plan and one plan only. You know what it is?
Mhm.
Destroy Tamlin. Yeah, that's her only goal in life. You know when you have a goal that you see in your mind and you're like, you're so sure that it's gonna happen because you just saw it, you see it in your mind and you're like, oh, it's real. That's her destroying
She's
Tamlin and everything.
manifesting.
Yeah, not for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess she was like at the night court, she was like, "Ah, how am I gonna destroy Tamlin?" And she just started dreaming about it and she was manifesting and she did it. She freaking did it, babes.
Yeah. I love that for her. She is every scorned woman ever. She's living out all the things that we have all dreamt of being able to do, which is amazing. And I love it.
Or disgusting men, women. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, we'll have relationship. Yeah, we can definitely work out on Rizan, definitely. But yeah, Farah is like living the life in a lot of ways. You guys remember that she has a plan? She
Mhm.
basically it's married slash mated to Rizan,
Mhm.
but Tamlin thinks that Hybern, the king of Hybern, destroyed the bond. But he doesn't know that they're actual mates. So Farah it's living in the spring court and Tamlin thinks that everything is perfect and that she's back to normal. And she's even like painting nice things. Like she's painting with colors and everything, not like old Farah, all stats and whatever. And Tamlin is eating it up. What do you think? He wants to be blind again.
Listen, the overall overarching theme is that Tamlin is delusional. He is in denial. It's not just a river in Egypt. This man, I
You
swear to
just said
God.
that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Denial isn't just a river in
Wait,
Egypt.
Ninja, your husband is gay. I love that audio so much. Yes, that's Tamlin. Literally, he's not gay though, but he's in denial. No
Yeah.
doubt.
He could probably use some gayness. He needs to loosen up a little bit.
I thought that what Tamlin needed is therapy, but I think at this point he just needs to go to a psychiatric ward and just stay there for like a year.
He needs to be topped by someone.
Damn, Reshea, no, everything has to be sexual.
Yes, it does. Have you not heard what the podcast is about? Jesus. Anyways.
Okay, I wanted to be a little cute woman right now, but I couldn't because she's right.
Yeah, so
Yes,
how is she destroying the spring court?
Farah, it's like if I'm staying here and bringing this cord down, I'm gonna do it good and well, and you're gonna hate me and you're gonna love it at the same time. And she does. She basically puts everyone against Tamlin, but not because she's a bad bitch, even though she is. It's because he deserves it. Like
He
you,
fucking does.
I mean, in this book, you kind of like understand Tamlin and whatever, and he thought the family that he always wanted was Feyre, right? And then Rhys came, and that never happened. We get it.
Mhm.
But these men in this book, the time when he kills or like he hits the sentry, remember? Because he
Mhm.
supposedly was the one who took the keys.
Yeah, he gave him lashings.
I know he knew that he wasn't the sentry. I know he knew. I
Yeah.
know he knew.
Yep,
And he
and he chose, and those sentries had gone out and risked dying, and Andres did die for him, for his court, for all of Prythian. He trusted them. He's been with them for centuries. He's fought beside them, and he chose the word of fucking Ianthe over the men who have been loyal to him forever. And that's
if
a
you
weak
don't
man.
know, if you don't know, she's back. She's back.
Fucking bitch.
She's back, and you know where she's going? To the burn book. She
Oh yeah.
deserves it. I think
Oh,
she's.
for sure.
I think honestly, she deserves it more than a lot of people in this book, in all
Oh
of the
yeah.
books.
100%.
Sorry, guys, I have a cold, or as I told you before, I almost died this week. So my voice is kind of sexy, but that is the only advantage that I have because I feel like shit. So going back, so Ianthe is back.
Mhm.
We want to die about that.
Disgusting.
And she's like, Feyre, I'm sorry. And of course, I know Ianthe knew Feyre was like not the same. We all knew. The only person that wanted to be blind was Tamlin.
Yeah.
But Ianthe was like, Feyre, I'm sorry I did that because I thought I was the best with the King of Hybern and like being on his side and all of that. And
Yeah.
he was like, don't worry, I get it. And in her mind, she's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna stab you so hard. You're gonna die so good.
Yeah. Right. I thought it was ridiculous when I was rereading it. She goes, I just thought it would be what you wanted. And Fair's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, you just want to be with your sisters forever. So I made them Fae for you. You're welcome. And I'm just, all I could think was like, they were the test that, like, you didn't even know if it was going to work. Don't act like that was the plan. Like,
I'm
oh,
telling you.
it showed me that she was doing as good of a job at acting as Feyre was. And it was like they both were playing a wholly different game. And Tamlin was just over there like skidamarinka-dink. Like he was just not even paying attention. And like they weren't even being subtle about it.
No, not at all. And then Lucian knows everything. Lucian is like,
Oh.
bitch, you think I'm dumb? No, I'm not.
I saw this meme today. Can I read it to you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Feyre fucking with Lucian is my new aesthetic. Feyre winking and grinning behind Tamlin's back. Feyre summoning Talons at the table just before Tamlin gets to breakfast. Tamlin leaves the room just in time for a piece of paper to appear in front of Feyre that she smiles at and replies to. Lucian can't do anything. Lucian can't do anything because, let's face it, Tamlin is unstable and might not believe him. Plus, she is the bridge to Elain. Does she have wings? Did she summon water just then? What the fuck? Who knows? Not Lucian.
No. Lucian is like, he's like a side eye type of guy. Like, I know everything, I see everything, but I don't say anything,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Even if he wanted to say something to Tamlin, again, he wouldn't believe him.
Mhm.
Because honestly, to Tamlin, Lucian is a 0%. He doesn't add anything to his life. And that is something
Mhm.
that I will never forget him for. Never. Because Lucian deserves the world. So if you don't remember, Lucian is mated to Elain. I know.
Mhm.
I'm not happy. You're not happy. We're not happy. He deserves better. I said that. And I stand by that. But he's like into this conundrum, right?
Mhm.
Of I want to be with my maid. Feyre is the sister of my maid, like their family, and then I want to stay with Tamlin. And I love Tamlin. He's my brother.
I don't think he loves Tamlin. I think he feels indebted to Tamlin.
I think he loves him though, in a
I
way.
mean, okay, you're right.
Remember,
Yes.
remember that man love is very different than women love.
It's transactional.
And at the same time, men have this again. He feels like he owes Tamlin something, and they will definitely think that's love.
Mhm.
And I do think that he sees Tamlin as his family because they kind of
Yeah.
are. He's his
Yeah.
brother, cousin, whatever. Not real, just
Yeah.
that feeling. I do believe that he was in this conundrum of I don't wanna not help Tamlin, but I want to help Feyre because at the end of the day, she's my sister's mate.
Yeah. Well, and he was friends with Feyre before all the Under the Mountain stuff happened.
Yeah.
And they developed a friendship that was based on like a mutual understanding of like this isn't what either of us wants, but this is where we're at. And it kind of grew from a respect for each other. Like I know he hated her because she killed Andres, but at the same time, like he could respect her because she wasn't just a damsel in distress all the time. So they had a real friendship. And then he watched Tamlin treat her the way that he did and let her waste away. And he only picked Tamlin from what I can understand from a very like bros before hoes mentality. Like,
Mm,
I owe
yeah.
everything to Tamlin. He's my guy, so I gotta be on his side. When I think a true masculine relationship would involve being able to speak your truth to the person who you care about. Be like, hey man, like you're fucking up. Like that's what a real friendship is. Not just constantly like blowing smoke up your ass just because
Again, everyone in these books, in all of the books, need therapy. Lucian is like
therapy.
number 5, but yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
100%.
No
Yeah.
doubt. Number 1 being Feyre, number 2 being Tamlin.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually competing for number 1, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's probably a
Um,
tie.
yeah, definitely. As we told you, Feyre's master diabolical plan was destroying the Spring Court. And
Mhm.
she kind of did. Like, she did
Uh,
it,
she
actually.
absolutely did it. She
Yeah, and she
absolutely did it.
everyone in the Supreme Court that worked for Tamlin, not with, for, we need to make that clear. They don't work with
Mm-hmm.
him, they work for him. They were against him by the time that she left. They were like, no. And after what he did to the Century and taking Ianthe's side, who would do that? No one in the right mind would do that.
He backed himself
Uh,
into a corner.
and after taking Ianthe's side, everyone knew who Ianthe was. The only person that didn't want to know was him.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that right now? Lucian having to have sex with freaking Ianthe because Tamlin wasn't in the mood for it, for Cal and
Mm.
Mai. Disgusting. Disgusting.
I've never been more upset
I,
at
I I've been before, but this disgusting.
I mean, I've never been more upset at a fictional character. Like
Like,
genuinely, I'm like, are you kidding me? That is your friend. And you're essentially saying like, okay, go get sexually abused. Like he forced him into that situation. Like Tamlin was at the very least complicit in the assault of Lucian by Ianthe. And at the worst of it, he played an integral role. He like delivered Lucian to her on a silver platter. And it's disgusting to
disgusting.
me.
Every time I read about that part, I'm like, I want to die because he, from the beginning, we know, or since the beginning, we know that he definitely cannot stand Ianthe. Like,
Yeah.
Lucian is a no guy. And I know, well, Tamlin wants to be blind most of the time. Like, literally 99% of the time, he wants to be blind. So maybe he didn't notice. But the fact that first had to be her, and two, telling him to do it because he couldn't.
I don't know. It drives me nuts. It's like Tamlin is one of those guys where like he's not maliciously evil. He doesn't do these things because he wants to hurt other people. He just justifies it in his head constantly, his own priorities. So
I
he thinks about
know,
what he wants and he
I know you're,
justifies it.
and I get it. But at the end of the day, that's malicious because you're acting on your own good, not other people's good.
Yeah. It just screams self-involved to me. Like he's so wrapped up in his own needs and wants that he can't even see what anybody else needs or wants.
Feyre finally destroys the court. But before she goes, she tells what's her name? Alice. Leave because everything is about to go down and everyone's gonna be fucked. So you have to
Yeah.
leave. And I love it because she said that, Like,
And Alice like packed her a little going away bag. She's
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
you're gonna here. I got some apples for you, and I got a little
Yeah.
blanket.
Alice was like, I know you're leaving because this is crazy. And I know that you're faking it, and we all know the only one that doesn't know is him. So here, leave, Farah. We love you and thank you. I loved it. I mean, that friendship, nobody talks about it, but I love it. It's not.
Yeah,
I don't want to say a friendship because I don't think they're friends, but like that connection right there is so beautiful.
I always thought that she was named after the nanny in the Brady Bunch,
Mm, mm,
Alice, because she just kind of takes care of everybody. She's like the mother hen kind of
love it.
situation, who she's gonna give it to you straight.
Totally.
Yeah.
On Farah's last trip, because they have to check on the wall, Tamlin is working with Hybern, and Hybern
Hmm.
wants to bring the war and they want to enslave the humans and whatever. So she's on this trip with Jurian, Lucian, the twins. The twins are like Hybern's nephew and niece. They're like
Hmm.
royals. They have like superpowers. They're like super creepy, and we're pretty sure they have an incestuous relationship. We know.
What?
We they're giving the vibes that they're not with other people. They're just with
No,
themselves.
they
We're not
gotta
sure.
like share a room.
We're not sure, but they're very too comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Just saying that. It just
Yeah.
makes them creepier, right? And
Hmm.
then in this trip is Ianthe too.
Hmm.
Basically, a lot of stuff happened in this trip.
Hmm.
And the twins at some point, Feyre sends the bug to them. You know, we love the bug. We talked about the bug in I think episode 1 or 2.
Hmm.
I
One.
love the bug. It seems my favorite thing from the whole books. She sends the bug to them. Something happened. I don't remember what it is, but she's like, "Okay, I gotta get the fuck back to the Spring Court." I think it's because she realizes the plan Hybern has. I think it's sad because the twins were talking to Jurian or something. She's like, "Wow, I need to give them this information," and she leaves. Right? That's the plan. While she's leaving, I know. While she's leaving, the twins are like, "You're not leaving. We're gonna kill you." And
Hmm.
basically, they tell her that they've been poisoning her with this
Hmm.
Feyre, right? That's her name, Feyre.
Hmm. Yep.
And she doesn't have much powers, and she's gonna not die, but she's like weak and weak and weaker by the minute.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I gotta leave." She kind of like fight them with the little strength she has. And while she's leaving, you know who she sees?
Who does she see?
I'm telling you, she sees Ianthe
That bitch.
with Lucian. But you will think, oh my god, they're kind of like into something. No,
Mm-mm.
he is cuffed, right? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
with those special cuffs that like keep you from being able to
The
use your
blue,
powers.
the blue
Hmm.
ones with
Hmm.
the Feyre.
Yeah.
She has him cuffed on a freaking tree because she's going to rape him any
Hmm.
second. And Feyre is like, this motherfucker. Feyre, even though she's like weak and whatever because she's been poisoned for so long. I think
Yeah.
she's been on the Supreme Court for a while now, like 2 months maybe or less. I don't know. And all this time they've been doing that to her, and she's like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker, meaning Ianthe.
Yep.
She gets into Ianthe's mind, and she's like, "You're never, ever, ever gonna touch someone without them wanting it, ever, ever." She destroys her hand. She
Yeah,
takes
she
Lucian, and she
smashes that bitch.
yes, and then Lucian's like, "Okay, can I go with you? Because my mate." And
Yeah.
Tamlin's kind of cray, and I just don't feel like it's my vibe anymore. And Fairy's like, "Heck yeah, babes, let's go." But
Except they hated each other. They were so mad at each other.
I'm just putting it in a very Mean Girls way.
Yeah, I
Um,
was like, wow, that
yeah.
was awfully positive for the way that it sounded.
No, it wasn't. Farah's like, I don't know, man. You like kind of like, you don't
Harshing
give
my
me,
mellow.
yeah, you're just like not giving me the vibes that you need to give for me to take you to this place. Because again, Velaris is still a secret.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about Velaris. So while they're leaving, the twins come back.
Oh my god, that's right.
I'm telling you, these freaking twins, and then with a little strength that they too that because they've been poisoning Lucian too, right?
Yeah, they've been poisoning everybody in the spring court.
These twins are insane. They fight the twins. They Not gonna lie, I think those twins, same as Amarantha, they could have been a little bit more in the story. Honestly, they're
Yeah.
crazy. They were crazy, and I love those type of villains. I think they're great. But they kill them. They leave, and they go through a mountain again.
Mhm.
But this time they go through one that like gives you the passage through
Autumn Court.
the Autumn Core. Yes,
Yeah.
Lucian's nemesis family, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Um,
his nemesis that are also his blood relatives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. They get there, and what happens because I'm blanking.
So they're like, okay, we gotta just like make a beeline for it. And they don't have their powers yet, so they can't winnow. They can't try to send a message down the bond. Like
They cannot
they're
eat
just essentially,
anything. They cannot eat anything they had in their bag.
yeah, yeah. All
Nothing.
the food that Feyre had, trash. Like, so they're looking for food and stuff, and they don't have time to like go all the way around Lucian's daddy's estate. So they're just trying to like sneak right through, and they're almost through all the way. And Eris and his crony brothers, Lucian's brothers, find them and almost kill them. And then they keep running, and then they're freezing, and they're almost dying again. And this is when I was like, when are they going to strip down and cuddle for heat and warmth? That never happened. Made me real mad.
This freaking from this trip from the sprint court to the night court could have been the
Mhm.
perfect opportunity for Feyre to finally give us what we wanted with her and Lucian, but it
Yeah.
never happened. And
I
I
tr-
get it. I get it. He's mated with Elain or whatever, and she's like with
and
the
and
highest
she
and
has
powerful
Rhys.
high lord. But damn, that red hair, Lucian with
Mm.
no eye.
Like the perfect excuse. We were freezing to death. We needed to,
Fuck to stay hot and warm.
yeah, precisely. It was survival, Rhys. Get over it. Jesus.
Like we know that Elaine, she doesn't give a fuck, honestly.
Oh yeah,
And
she
Rhys,
wishes Lucian would move on.
I honestly think Rhys will understand after a little bit of explanations. He will be like, you know what, I get it, babes. I get it. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Oh, and that was after she, during destroying the spring court, had that whole scene where she made Tamlin, like she arranges so Tamlin would catch her like in the
Leaving.
throes, in like in the middle of hugging
Oh
Tamlin
yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
shirt
yeah. You're
off.
right.
Do you remember
Yeah, you're
that
right.
part?
Yeah,
And that was
totally,
another part.
totally.
When it took me a second to realize that it was a ploy, because at first I was like, oh, she's gonna fuck Lucian. I
No,
got all
I know.
excited, and then it took like it was like a second, and I was like, oh, damn it, it wouldn't happen
You
because
know why not? Because Rhys is Rhys. She's
yeah,
very much in love, and when you're mated, you only think about the person that you want to be, that the mate, your mate. You don't think about
sure,
anyone else.
sure,
But we didn't talk about that. But that part, Tamlin was like livid. He was like,
ooh,
I'll kill this motherfucker. I'll kill him." Are
yeah,
you? I because all of this time that Feyre was at the Supreme Court, she never had sex with Tamlin, ever,
mm-hmm.
ever, ever. And of course, you expected less of Feyre. We're talking about
Mm.
Tamlin, average sex. No,
No, that's easy to say no to.
exactly. And I think weren't even sleeping on the same room or anything. They just
No, she had her own room that was across the hall from Lucian.
Lucians.
Mm.
So Tamlin goes crazy again about that. But going back, they're
Mm-hmm.
escaping. They could
Mm-hmm.
have taken another passageway, but they couldn't because that one would go through the summer court. And Tarquin, if you remember, wants to Feyre because she kind of makes him believe that he had an opportunity with her, and then she was like, "No," and he's still
JK,
like,
I'm just here to steal this book from you.
literally, and he's still like a little bit resentful about that. So she says, "No, let's go through your family, even though they're crazier than him." They go through the Autumn Court. They see the siblings. The siblings are crazy. We know it. They even tried to kill him before because he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be with a peasant, basically.
Mm.
Um,
Disgusting.
I know. Lucian, please. Lucian, please. And then they get to the Winter Court.
Mm-hmm. And
Ish.
they have to climb up that mountain, and like it's the last mountain pass before the border of the Night Court.
While all of this is happening, Feyre is still trying to communicate through the bond with Rhys. But again, this poison thing is so good. Like, we should use it for drugs because it's probably good. Like, damn, it's so strong. So it's not nothing's working. She's trying every day, nothing is working, whatever. Still, even though they are traveling together, they're not speaking much.
No.
He's on his side and she's on her things, and they're not talking. They don't like each other. If they could kill each other and have no consequences, they would do it, but they don't. So they travel together. They get to this winter court. They have to go through a mountain, and they go through the mountain, and then they get to a lake that is frozen. And you know who's waiting there? Like, I see you, Eris. Who's Eris? We introduced Eris. I know we have introduced him before, right?
I don't think we really have.
No. Star. Eris is the other redhead on the story. He is Lucian's brother. I think he's the oldest brother.
He is, yes. He's the one who's like slated to. Yeah, he's the one that's slated to become the High Lord of the Autumn Court when his dad dies.
Well, they don't die, but if someday he's like, okay, it's my time to give you this, I don't think that's gonna happen willingly. So yes, he is like, I love him. You're gonna know more about him in other books, but basically, he was the one who was going to marry the Morrigan. We don't get there yet. That's gonna happen at some point, but they don't get married, and we're gonna talk about that later. I think on the second part, maybe, probably, yeah. And while they're fighting, Feyre, it's like, I think it's because she's like closer to this night court, to the Velaris or whatever, that she's more stronger. I think the closer she's with like her people, the stronger she is, in my opinion. I don't know if that's true. Maybe the poison was wearing off already. I don't know. But she summons fire. But why is this interesting? It's because Ares doesn't know. And nobody knows. Well, nobody knows actually. But Feyre, the only people that can summon fire or like have this power are the people from the Autumn Court. His court, his father court, meaning Feyre has powers from their court. What? And we didn't know? Like, meaning them didn't know?
Yeah.
Crazy, right? And then after that, his dad goes a little bit crazy because she has those powers too. Nobody knew that she had powers from when they all revived her under the mountain. But going back, Daddy Cassian and Daddy Asriel, they get there, they save Feyre, and this is a part that I want to talk about because I think it's so funny. Asriel takes Feyre, flying or whatever, to the spring court, to the night court. And Cassian takes Lucian. And that to me is always and forever gonna be so funny.
Just Cassian holding Lucian like a wee babe. Or wait, do you think he held him? I'm sure it said it in the books, but I can't remember. Do you think he held him like this?
Definitely.
Or do you think it was like Lucian had his legs wrapped around?
Stop, no.
His arms wrapped around his neck and his legs just like.
This is disturbing. I don't know why I never thought about it. No, it was like this, definitely. But either way, it's so funny to me. Yeah. Like, and Lucian, he's a big freaking guy. Like, he's huge, probably. Like, all of them, right? Even though Cassian is the biggest one. Yeah, we know in all the ways. But they take them to the night court, specifically Velaris. Yeah, right? They take them to Velaris directly.
I believe so, yeah.
Because she's a high lady, so they have to take care of everything, right? They get there, and Lucian cannot believe what his eye. He only has one. His real eye is, because it's a real city with happy people, and he cannot believe that is possible because after Amarantha, no one was happy, right? And before that, neither. So he cannot believe it. But then he sees Feyre kissing Rhys and like hugging him, and he goes crazy. Like, babes, what?
Dude, he's pissed. But I mean, okay, let's give Lucian a break here. This is not how he thought his day was going to go. he has like how we said when it came to Tamlin at the beginning of Akamath, it's you spend your whole life knowing Rhys as this really bad guy, and then all of a sudden you're hit with this information that says that all that is not true, and you're just supposed to accept it out of nowhere instead of wondering, is this just another lie? Is this just another facade? Like, so I'm sure it's hard for him to wrap his head around all these things that go against everything that he's been told his whole life. But at the same time, like,
but at the same
know.
time, is you want to be dumb because she just saved you. She helped you this whole time, and we know that Feyre is gonna choose well. Even though her choices are gonna be a little bit weird, she's gonna choose well, and she's not gonna be with someone that is just a bad person. Even though we're craving for him to be a bad person in the other books.
I know.
But yeah,
I wanted him to be a bad guy so bad.
I know, whatever. But they get there, and we start getting the vibes that Lucian is not gonna be welcome.
Yeah.
You know the inner circle, right? Hybern, the Morrigan or Mor, Asriel, Cassian, and Rhys. They're 5, and then with Feyre is 6, right?
Yep.
They're like, no, I don't like your vibe. And then, honestly, till this day, that's something that I will never forgive them for.
Yeah, you know, it seemed like they were so welcoming to Feyre when she came, and they like gave her space, but they were also kind to her. And then with Lucian, it was like, yeah, not our problem. And I wonder if it's only because Feyre was Rhys's mate and everybody knew.
Maybe, probably, we don't know. But honestly, the inner circle, again, I love them. I will give everything for Asriel and Cassian. But the inner circle, I don't think they, one, know how to be friends, and two, they don't know how to appreciate other people that are not in their circle. Because you can see
it's
the
very
same
cliquey.
thing. You can see the same thing and the same behaviors with Elain and Nesta. Same thing. They never made an effort. Even on the last book, you actually don't see the effort.
Yeah. It's very like high school clique. Like, I'm super nice to my friends and then a huge bitch to everybody else.
Yes, literally that's how it feels. Again, I love them. I think they're great, but if you're not in the inner circle, are they gonna be your friends? I don't think so, because I think they have, like, acquaintances and whatever. Oh, the lady from the restaurant, yeah, I know her, she's nice and whatever, but friends, no, definitely not. And I think that's something that is a little bit of a yellow going to red flag, but that's whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
they're mean girls, that's fine.
Yeah, they are. If you remember, when Feyre left with Tamlin after what happened with Hybern, and these guys, all of the inner circle and Feyre's sisters, left to the night court, Feyre hasn't seen them in like however long she was at the Spring Court, right?
Yeah, and Cassian was on death's doorstep when she saw him last.
Yeah, and he's still recovered, and they're all super hot. Yeah. Let's just reminisce in that for a minute. I know.
Amazing.
So, Feyre probably was like, oh my god, you guys are all looking so good.
And that's when the orgy happens.
We wish.
I know.
We wish.
I gotta get some fanfic up in here.
Oh my god, if you guys have some, send them our way,
please,
we want to see
send
that.
us fanfic. I want an inner circle orgy. Why is that so hard? Why is that so much to ask for?
I don't want Morrigan in that, because that's gonna be a little bit weird. They're cousins.
That's because, well, yeah, you're right. They're cousins. Well, what if we just did one where Rhys isn't there, but Helion is?
No. Or she's getting it with one of the women.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. If you have that, send them away. Send it our way so we can put it here. Please. Thank you very much. Feyre goes to see her sisters for the first time since they're Fae.
Yep.
We know that Elain, she is...
Oh,
if
Elain.
you thought she was a blank page before, she's literally clear right now. She's
saran wrap, I swear to God.
And she's going a little bit insane, I would say. Like,
She's fully dissociated.
let me tell you something. I have nothing against that woman. I don't care about her. That's the thing. If you have someone in a book, I want to care about them.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Nesta has been a bitch since the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know more about her. But Elain never gives me those vibes. I don't.
Not interested.
And then they see Elain, they know that Elain and Lucien are mates, and the only rule they give Lucien is you cannot talk to Elain.
I don't understand.
And Nesta
I don't
loves
understand.
that. Nesta is loving that rule because she's like, no, 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 right? And
Yeah.
and then they see Nesta. Nesta is into the smutty books. She is just
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah. She's reading, I imagine her reading like one of those old like paperbacks that has like Fabio on the cover. You know what I'm saying? Very like on a ship
Like
with his shirt billowing and his hair's like
we do the same thing. I love it.
yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. It's true. I'm pretty sure it once were like that. So she's escaping reality by just reading smut.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple like that.
Hard relate.
And I think they are in the House of Wind, meaning they cannot
Yes.
leave.
Yeah, so they when they got back or when they were taken from the Winter Court, they got brought to the to Valaris, to the townhouse.
Yeah.
And then Feyre asks to go see her sisters, but of course she fucks her husband first. Remember there's the bathtub scene? Lucien was like, "Can I come?" Remember?
I did not remember that. I do not.
Yeah. It's a very
Did I
quick
just
scene.
forget
Smut?
a
Yeah.
smutty scene?
Mm-hmm.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
Shame.
I will never
Shame.
forgive myself for that.
Shame. So while they're at the House of Wind and Lucien is on a strict no Elain rule, Feyre is realizing that he's reeling the same way that she was reeling when she was brought there the first time. And so she's like, "Come with me, young grasshopper," and takes him out to the balcony. And she's like, "Oh, this is the balcony that I landed at with Rhys the very first time he took me here. Isn't that great?" And then she sits Lucien down and she like basically gives him the story of everything that's happened since her first time going to the night court. And you'd think that would help Lucien adjust, but it doesn't. And he's still struggling. And I get that it's hard because he feels like everybody kind of hates him. Like he just gets that vibe. Like
everybody hates him.
Nobody's like said it out loud, but you know, you walk into a room and you know you're not welcome. I feel like that's Lucien. I feel so bad for him too because he never did anything. But they're all,
he never did anything.
Yeah, but I get it because they're all very like pro Feyre. So when Feyre was like, "Yeah, Lucien just stood by and watched Tamlin act like this," they are like my mom was whenever I told her that a boy I liked was mean to me or that a friend that I had and I got in a fight. She's like, "Dead to me now." They can never apologize. As you
do me wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely like how my mom was. Like my boyfriend broke up with me and my best friend was really mean to me. She's like, "Oh, cool. I hate them now. They're not allowed in my house."
It's just I can forgive you and I definitely will forget because you're not important, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's just how the inner circle was. They're like, "Oh, no, Lucien we're not going to be nice to him ever. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter how much he helps us out. He's out."
He's hot.
I know.
Just
he's
forgive
hot.
him. Whatever.
They don't have any other redheads in the whole circle, which is strange for a fantasy novel.
Now that you say that, there's no one in like color either.
Well, I mean, because there's debate as to
Asian,
but Asia doesn't exist in Prithian.
Yeah, but she's kind of like Asian, so that's
like if she has
and then again
Asian, and then like there's the how dark are the Bat Boys.
And then again, I'm pretty sure Illyrian soldiers, specifically Cassian, he's giving me Turkish vibes. So yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, let's pass through. let's just not talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about the Morrigan and Eris history or story or what happened between them. So at some point, Feyre confronts the Morrigan. She's like,
Mhm.
"Dude, you gotta stop giving this man like high hopes. This man being
Mhm.
Asriel, because it's been 500 years and he still thinks that he has a chance." To back up Reshea's argument, she's always saying that Asriel wants to be blind.
Asriel is Rhys's spy master who somehow can't suss out that the girl he's been pining over for 500 years isn't into women.
And that's in period because it's true. Uh,
Um,
to his defense, 500 years in Fae years is nothing. In Fae life is nothing. At this point in the book, we know that Rhysand's cousin, the Morrigan or Mor, she has a lot of secrets. Nobody
mhm.
knows what actually is happening to her or what happened to her. And till this point, we get an idea, but we don't know shit.
Mhm.
And that is something that I'm still mad about, by the way.
Yeah. Also, what is this that her power is truth? All I can think of is the lasso of truth from Wonder Woman. That's all I can think of. She can
Uh,
make everybody else tell the truth.
yeah, I mean, she's a good warrior or whatever, but I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. We will have to see to her. We will have to wait for her book in like
No.
7 years, maybe, but
I don't
whatever.
think she's gonna get a book.
I actually don't care about her story that much.
I think that the books are only gonna be the three Archeron sisters.
Don't tell me that. Because I need to know more about the Lady of the Autumn Court. I need to know more about Elain. I need to know more about Tarquin. But
I'm
going back,
sure those things will be sprinkled in, but
I hope so. But going back, so we learn because of stuff that happened. Rizan basically like betrays Morrigan in a way because he does kind of like a deal with her father. And again,
mm-hmm.
the Morrigan story is very complicated because her father basically did an arranged marriage
Mm-hmm.
with Eris.
Yep.
Yes, Lucian's brother,
Mm-hmm.
and they were supposed to get married. But she said that it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna marry this man. He's not for me. And she has sex with none other than
Cassian.
yeah, and she picked well because if it was
Mm.
Asriel, ooh, the obsession, he would have become Zade Meadows.
That's exactly that's what she said. Like later in the book, she talks about she's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it had to be Cassian because if it was Azrael, he would have become obsessed.
yeah.
Like it would have been like, so are you my girlfriend? And Cassian was just like, cool, that was fun.
I'll
So
see you in a week or
yeah,
something. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If you ever want to
definitely.
fuck again, you know where to find me.
I don't think they would do it again.
I feel like Cassian's the kind of guy where like if Mor was like, hey, I just really need to get my rocks off right now, Cassian would be like, okay.
Literally. So they do it. And then Morgan's dad finds out because she wanted him to, of course.
Mhm.
And he goes bullocks. He goes crazy.
Hmm.
And he basically nailed a note on her uterus.
Mhm.
Literally, like, guys,
Yep.
insane. And he just dumps her on the border with the Autumn Court. And
Mhm.
he says on the note, basically, this is Eris's problem. I don't give a fuck. She
Mhm.
is. We're done with her. We're
Yep.
just done. I do think that every story has two sides. We only know her side so far.
Yep.
Only know that. And her side of the story goes like this. He saw her there, basically not dying because they don't die like that, but he saw her, well, yeah, dying. She was
Yeah,
dying.
she was dying. She was
Yeah.
not and she
I
had
was
been she
confusing
had been
other book.
tortured before. Yeah, she had been tortured. So like it wasn't just like she was fine with a nail in her gut. Like she had
Yeah.
been tortured and then he put her mangled body on there with a nail in her body.
Her story goes, he sees her and he just leaves. That's her
Yep.
story. That's what we know so far until book 5 still. I believe that something happened there because she's so secretive with this side of the story, with everything that happened there. Something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I do think that they're mates. I believe
Mm.
so. And I still to this day, I think they're mates. I think they rejected the bond. I don't think Eris wanted to have anything to do with her, and she didn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
We later know, and spoiler alert for the second episode,
Yeah.
she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
Well, she's a bisexual, I think. But
If
she's more into
she
women.
if she was an animal, she would be a Lickalotapuss.
I have no idea what that is.
Think about the word. Lick a
You?
lot of puss.
So, I don't know what to say. So, I think she's bisexual, in my opinion, but she's more into women than men because we know that she's been with other men besides Lucian. Cassian. Sorry about that. No. I believe that they're mates. I believe they rejected the bond. I believe that there is a lot going on that story, and that's the only thing that makes me think that there could be a book there.
I think it would be a great book. I've been reading a lot about other people's series, and they're like, the whole idea of the series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, was supposed to be just about the Archeron sisters. And then as you read Crescent City, you will understand more of why they think that.
Definitely. All this is happening. Lucian is not adapting. He is struggling. And nobody's helping. So yeah, we love it. We love it.
Like, oh, that looks really hard for you. So anyway, yeah. So because Lucian's struggling so bad, they have this whole thing where they need somebody to go and try to find this missing queen that book told Feyre is not dead. And Lucian's like, I volunteer as tribute. Please get me the fuck out of here. And Cassian even gives him like some Illyrian fighting weapons and things like that, which is
They're
pretty
working
neat.
together. What?
Yeah. And then they Rhys just drops them off on the mainland and then is like, good luck, don't die, and then just like pieces out. And then we don't hear from Lucian for like ever.
Literally.
It wasn't even a big deal. It was just like, bye. Oh, there was one point though where like as he's leaving, getting ready to leave, Elain was like, but she like didn't speak up because she has the voice of a fucking mouse or some shit.
Grabbing that point, Elain is so fucking annoying. Literally, that's the note for this episode. Elain is so fucking annoying. I cannot with her.
Illusion is not what we want, but I also don't think that I don't think Az should have her, just because I think it's too matchy for the three Bat Boys to have the three sisters. It's too matchy.
So this is happening. Rhys is like, we need to bring the High Lords together or whatever, and he's just working on a meeting from all of them to get like in a place, in a court, specific, like a neutral court, so they can all speak and whatever and see. I've been saying whatever in this episode so much, like, get a grip.
It's okay.
I know. That reunion is happening. Lucian is kind of helping him too, like writing letters and answering stuff and stuff like that. That is like what he does before he leaves.
He's being an emissary.
Yes. And that's that's his title when he goes to the mortal lands.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he's an emissary so far. So this is happening. Nesta kind of wants to like help ish.
Yeah. So
she
Rhys
starts
gives her
training.
a job.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, what was her title?
She's liaison to the humans, I think. Whatever the job title actually is.
Yeah. She's doing that. And she's training with Amram to like know more about her powers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it goes well. And actually they become kind of like friends or whatever you think Amram can be a friend.
Yeah, I think Amren and Nesta become friends because neither of them subscribe to that bullshit idea that we have to like be super nice and cheery and put on a great face for other people. They're just like, I'm having a bad day. Do you want to make some puzzles? Yes, my
But
day
I
is
do
equally bad.
think,
I would love to make some puzzles.
but I do think, no doubt, Tamlin and Nesta will listen to this podcast, no doubt. They both very active sexually. They
Mhm.
both man eaters. Is a man in a minute?
Dun, dun, dun,
They
dun,
both are,
dun.
yeah. They both are. And they curse so much. They love sex, they curse, they love
Yeah.
food, they love wine to drink. Well, Amber loves more blood than whatever because of what she eats. But you know what I mean. They love
But
just to indulge in life. And I think they will
yeah.
definitely love this
And Nesta reads smut. So
mud.
this podcast is for her. So
Exactly. So, something that we wanted to talk about and we have it on our points is the missed opportunity of Feyre and Asriel not fucking while she was learning how to fly. Because, yeah, if you don't know, Feyre can shape
Mhm.
shift. Oh my god, I said that.
I'm proud of you.
I know.
You're doing
And
great, sweetie.
thank you. And the powers comes from Tamlin. Yes,
Mhm.
she took something from Tamlin besides the court and destroying it and everything.
Mhm.
Um, and then she has wings and she wants to learn to fly, but she realizes very soon that it's so fucking hard. Like it's
Yep.
the way she
Yep.
struggles, right, in the book.
Yeah, well, and then we learn a little tidbit about Asriel, which is that even though he's Illyrian and he has wings, he wasn't even allowed to fly until he was 8 years old, which most Illyrians learn how to fly when they're like 2. When
They
they're
have
like,
to.
they learn like right around the same time that they learn how to walk, they learn how to fly. And
They have to
so
because of the muscles and everything.
yeah, so Asriel is charged with, or I guess he volunteers to teach Feyre because he's the only other one who understands what it's like to learn how to fly when you're older.
Yes, and I think this is the part when we get a little bit of the story about Asriel and how freaking.
It's very sad. And then we get the story about the Seraphim army and the girl who was like the cartographer and she couldn't fly and then she saved the queen
If
with
Sarah
her little
Gymnast
wings.
at some point decides to create a subgenre, not subgenre, like sub story for this type of story specifically, I
Mhm.
would love it so much. Like I want to know so much more about Draken and Miriam and I don't remember her name, this lady that had like small wings. So the story
Mhm.
goes something like Miriam, it's the one the Jurian loved,
Yeah, yeah, the half fae.
half fae, half human.
Mhm.
And while they were like kind of like on war, she gets stabbed. And why did I do that? I don't know. Yeah, I
I'm
have
rubbing
no
off
idea.
on you.
And then not in the fun way.
No.
And then Miriam, no, this lady that I don't remember her name, she goes and with her very small wings, they were smaller than all of the other wings, and they're kind of like an angel slash humanoid type of, no, angel slash fairy type of creature,
Mixed hybrid. Yeah, they were
hybrid.
the
Yeah,
Seraphim, yeah.
the seraphims. Yeah. So her wings are they were very small, and she goes and flies, and she saves Miriam, and then Rizan takes this story, and he always is giving that story to or telling that story to the inner circle because
Mhm.
reminding them of maybe what you think is a flaw, it's gonna be what saves you, right? And what saves the world or whatever. And it's beautiful. Actually,
Yep.
I'm just putting it like that, but it's beautiful. I recommend you to read it. If you don't want to read the book, just read that part. It's
It's beautiful.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, I recommend. Maybe we'll do something for Instagram soon, so we can like kind of like tell the story of that only that
That
part.
would be great.
But I recommend. It's beautiful. Go read it. So she's like, oh, I love it, whatever. And then we know a little bit more about Asriel and his very sad boy story.
Mm.
He's just not sad because he wants to. He's sad because he has a lot of trauma, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely merited, but still a bit annoying nonetheless.
I love him.
It's been over 500 years, dude.
Again, 500 years is like maybe 10 years for them, a decade, because they're freaking immortal. Remember that.
I know, but at the same time, like, cope, man.
He couldn't. So Asriel's mom, I think he never met, or he saw her like once every year or once a week.
Uh, I think, yeah, it was something like that. Once a month, he was allowed to see her, but
He
he
was the
lived with
son. Yeah.
he lived with his dad, and he was a bastard child. So he lived with his dad and his dad's wife.
And his dad was someone like kind of like powerful-ish, like a
Mm-hmm.
general maybe on the
Yeah.
Illyrian mountains, right?
Yeah.
He had two other kids, the wife and the dad, and no, he has two other brothers, and then the wife of the dad, and then the dad, and they were horrible people.
Horrible.
Like, he's a sad boy, and he
Yeah.
deserves to be a sad boy because oh
Yeah.
my god, they torture him. They and oh, we haven't said this, but he has his hands. They are burned.
Mm-hmm. It's like they put cigarettes out on him, except I don't think they have cigarettes in Prithian.
No, but no, they actually burned his hands like with
Yeah.
it wasn't gasoline. What was it? Like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
He
made him like live in a dungeon in the dark.
oh yeah, he lived there.
Mm-hmm.
Just alone.
Yep.
So he doesn't speak much. He's very burned, his hands. And he's just a sad boy, you know?
Yeah.
And then Feyre learns this. We learn this. We love him. I still to this day, I think he's one of my favorite things on these books because I know his side of the story. Like when he tells things, they're gonna be. He's giving me. I'm a poet, but nobody knows. And I go for that vibe so hard. I go for it. So Feyre learns that flying is not easy. She thought it was gonna be so easy because hello, everything is so easy for her, right? Nor,
Yeah. How hard could it be?
nor. Feyre is doing a lot of research. She has to.
Mm-hmm.
And well, one of these days, she's doing that. She gets attacked on the library. And she says, at the bottom of the library, there is something that. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say she was with Nesta.
Yeah.
And
You can tell this. Go ahead.
oh, so she was with Nesta, and earlier Elain had prophesied without anybody knowing that it was
Oh,
prophecy.
yeah. She's a seer now. She's
a seer. Yeah, and like they had called in a healer, and the healer was like, she's not Fae, like normal Fae, she's made. So not a whole lot that I can do.
I think
Maybe get her.
the
She
healer
said,
said she is physically well. She's not here mentally. Like she's just
yeah.
not okay mentally.
Yeah.
And then they put her with Lucian.
Yeah. Maybe her mate can do something. And he did. He got her to like chill out a little bit. And then he like tugged a little too hard on that bond. So it was, it was, she got all scared like a little kitten, I guess. And then, so she had this like weird prophecy thing, and she talks about a white raven and a black raven are coming and something. So then Feyre and Nesta are in the library trying to have like a bonding moment, I guess. And these two like generals from Hybern's army show up, and they are stalking Nesta and Feyre. So they're going down to the bottom of this library that has this super dark, scary creature called Bryaxis at the bottom of it. And nobody's ever really looked at it except for Cassian, who was a little bitch and scared out of his mind and like ran away. This big, scary, strong harbinger of death, Cassian, was scared of this thing. And so Feyre's like, let's go down there. And they ran down there, and then the ravens die because she strikes up, or she gets Bryaxis to do her bidding, basically. And then we find out that Valaris has been breached. Yeah.
It happened.
It's
First
super
time.
sad.
After Rhys has been protecting this freaking place for forever.
Yeah.
He was a man whore.
Yeah.
This happens. He's not there, Rhaenyra. When that happened, he's not in Valaris. So Feyre goes. I think this is your favorite part, right, of the book. When she actually kills the adder.
Yeah. I fucking live for this. After the whole situation with the ravens coming into Valaris and realizing that Hybern's there, essentially, we find out that they're planning attacks on Adriata, but we don't find out until they get there. And the only way we know, because I am part of the inner circle of the Night Court, I guess. So the only way that the
You
Night
think
Court
that
finds
if
out,
we're not in a book, we're not gonna be the mean girls? We are the mean
of
girls.
course, we are 100%.
Hello. We are
Yeah.
mean girls that in the like in real life they're so nice and everyone loves them, but we're mean girls. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess. But so because Amryn is fucking Varian from the Summer Court, reaches out to Amryn and is like, we need help. And so before anybody else finds out about it, Summer or Night Court is like, all right, let's go help Summer Court. And we have this amazing montage where Feyre and Mor are in their fighting leathers. They've got their knives and they are just going through absolutely obliterating the Hybern army. And I mean, Feyre's covered in blood, Morgan's covered in blood, and they're going through the castle and then through the streets, and it's one of my favorite scenes
It's
because
giving Charlie's Angels.
yeah, ooh, and Kill
We
Bill. It's
love
giving
it.
Kill
Ooh,
Bill.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I think it's
Yeah.
giving both because it looks so fucking good.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I love Uma Thurman, but not my vibe.
I love her. I love her.
She's great. But yeah, so then Feyre gets to be a total badass, and she's actually participating in combat for the first time, which is pretty cool.
And she's like, "This is my thing, killing people." Yeah.
I know. And then she has this moment where she like goes into Rhys's mind, like they're speaking to one another mind to mind, right? And he's like, I feel Hybern here. And so he like winnows onto this boat, and then Feyre is looking through Rhys's eyes, and she's like, Rhys could just snap his fingers and missed all these people. So she's like waiting for that to happen. And he realizes that like his powers are diminished. Like, why? And it turns out there's some spell, a binding spell or something put on this ship. And he's talking face to face with Hybern.
But basically, every step they take, Hybern is like 2 steps further.
Yep. And so they're like, and then finally you're like, oh shit, he's face to face with the King of Hybern on this boat. Nope. Rhys goes to make an attack on him, and the King of Hybern just dissipates because he was essentially
an illusion.
Hologram.
He was an illusion.
He was Tupac at Coachella.
Go ahead.
It was so, and then you're like, yeah, of course, there's like 400 pages left of this book. Of course, he's not going to kill the King of the Hybern army right now. So,
what do you think, Rizan?
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah. So, because I think when it comes down to it, like power to power, Rhys is going to be able to kick the king's ass, but the king has years and years. Like, the king is so old that he looks like he's in his 50s or 60s, which means something. Like, if a fairy starts going gray, they've been around.
What's her name?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is definitely King of Hybern. He is
100%.
His.
Yeah. But yeah, so then Rhys is pissed, and he's, you know, considering it a loss, but they still saved a lot of people. And then they like winnow back to the Night Court, and they are trying to get together this meeting of the High Lords because they need to start working together if they want any chance of beating the King of Hybern, because they know that they're here already.
When they leave, Feyre goes see Tarquin because, you know, she's like, he wants to be friends with him. Like, she didn't give him this vibe of, I want to be your girlfriend or whatever. I want you to, you know, have something between us. Just because, like, she actually wants to be friends with him. He's a beautiful person.
Yeah.
And he's like ignoring her and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Before she knew that Rhys was her mate, she was like, when she was hanging out with Tarquin, I remember her in the second book being like, I could see myself loving this man.
Yeah.
And him being beautiful. A good, like, yeah, he's a genuinely good guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he reminds me of like the characters in the rom-coms that are like the good guy that, you know, is just like, I'm just happy that you're happy. You know, that guy.
Yeah, totally. So I think it made sense that they don't want to get together because they all think still that Rizan is like the worst person ever.
Yeah, but because they don't want to go to Under the Mountain, I guess everybody has like a shared trauma there, even Rhys. They all have a shared trauma there. But because they don't want to be there, they have to find another neutral-ish ground. And apparently that is the Dawn Court.
I
So we
think
get
what was his name? The Don Court Tezan. I think he gives me so I'm so calm that when I get
Mhm.
mad, I can fuck up everything and everyone, you know?
And you don't have to yell to do it.
No.
Mm-mm.
He gives me really like crazy vibes. Like, he could be crazy and nobody knows.
He definitely gives me like the guy who did too many shrooms in the 60s kind of vibes.
I love those vibes. Heck yeah.
So we know we have a yes from the day court, which is Helion, the winter court, which is Callias, the dawn court, which is Thason, and the autumn court, which is Baron, along with the night court. So we got 5. We're still kind of on Tarquin. We don't know.
Summer court. We
Um,
don't know because,
yeah.
we fucked them up. So
Yeah, and then not sure about Tamlin either. So in the meantime, they decide we're gonna go see if we can get the bone carver to help us out in this war.
this
And
was Farah's idea. She was like,
yeah,
maybe if this crazy creature go with us, we have like a better chance.
yeah, and this is like her first act as High Lady that doesn't involve Rhys being at her side. And they don't want to give the bone carver the idea that this is that important or that they need him this badly. So Feyre and Cassian go together to the prison to go talk to the bone carver, where he asks for something called the Ouroboros, which is a mirror that shows you something that
Everyone,
drives you
everyone,
insane.
everyone that sees the reflection there goes insane. Basically,
Yep.
that.
Yeah. And she's like, so you think I need to just go insane in order to be able to get you to help me? And he's like, yep. And so they decide, I
I
guess we're
know
just going
her.
yeah, right. We're just going to figure out how to make it work without the bone carver. And
No, she
then they're
actually
all,
thinks about it because they go to the night court, and she doesn't
mm,
know anything. But then she tells Morgan's dad,
oh,
Kier.
yeah.
He's
And
like,
he's like, you can have it.
"Oh, can I borrow this, whatever?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can have it, but blah 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 blah." And she's like,
Yeah.
"You know what? On the other hand, maybe we don't need him."
If you can get it, you can have it. Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah. So then they're like, okay, I guess bone carver's out. And then they are getting ready to go to the night court, and then they're all getting ready to go. Previously, Nesta had been asked to come and tell her story to try to appeal to the humanity in the other high lords, and she was like, how about fuck you, and she was not gonna go down for it. And then they're all getting ready to go, and Nessa's like, all right, I changed my mind. I'm going. I don't want to be remembered as a coward who could have done something and then didn't. And so she decides that she's going to come too. And that's when this night goes from good to great, because Nesta is always fun no matter where she goes.
Hello.
Always. They all winnow there, and they are greeted with the most beautiful Dawn Court views. Everybody is telling Rhys how if he redesigns the House of Wind, he needs to model it after this. And he's like, hey, thought I did a really good job. And all I can think is he probably has like a very cold, minimalistic, like mid-century modern vibe. And this is like maximalist and plush and comfortable. And
So I think when I think about it, and because of the pictures that I've seen of people like fan art and whatever,
Mhm.
again, another whatever, I see a lot of pinks, a lot of
Mm.
clouds, a lot of pink, a lot of clouds, very pastels. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Like how the sky looks as the sun is rising, like a beautiful sunrise. Hey, look, a
Exactly.
beautiful sunrise color.
Kinda, yeah.
Hey, shut up. I painted this wall all by myself.
We love that for you.
Look,
Heck yeah.
wait, look. It goes all the way up there and then all the way down there. You're
Beautiful.
welcome.
We love it. But
Uh
yes, I
but
do.
yeah,
I
so
think it's beautiful.
yeah, so I think Rhys takes that a little personally, which is fine. He'll be okay.
Just not
Um
get over it. You're the most powerful High Lord.
you can't be good at everything. Decorating
My
just isn't your
God.
strong suit.
My
Um
God.
and then they get to this beautiful meeting room, and there's like a pond with koi fish in it. in the middle, and then this like it's not like a conference room. They're just sitting around a pond.
It's just beautiful.
Gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. And there's this whole idea that like you can't have like nobody can attack another High Lord, because it's basically there's a binding spell that if you attack another High Lord, some shit is going to go down. And they're getting ready to start, and everyone is there except for
Tarquin and Tamlin, right? Or Tarquin
Nope.
gets there.
Tarquin gets there. Even Tarquin with the blood rubies, he gets there. So who's the pouty little bitch now?
So yeah, they get there, they do that. They were like, what the fuck, who are you? Because Nesta is beautiful. And they're like, oh my god, you're so insanely beautiful. Yeah, Nesta is amazing. That happens. They're there. And we're gonna leave the episode right here because we have part 2 coming next week. And that part, it's gonna be insane because the war goes down. A lot of people die. Literally a lot of people die. And we love it because we cry. You cry. They bang at a war camp. It's just a lot. A lot of stuff happened in these few pages that we have left. So next week is gonna be chapter 43 to the end of Aqua War. Cannot wait for you guys to listen to us because it's gonna go down for reals.
It's going down.
Reshea, we have the burn book this week.
Yes, we do.
For Aqua War, right? So these people are the nastiest, most crazy and annoying I've ever met. Do not trust them. They are the fuggliest dickheads ever.
Yeah.
And for me, no, you. Who are you gonna put here?
I'm putting Dagden and Branach, the prince and princess of Hybern.
I'm gonna put. I don't even care about the names. The twins. The what's the name when two brothers get together?
Incest. The incest twins.
Incestuous twins and the motherfucking Ianthe.
Oh, fucking Ianthe, man. The worst.
They are now on the burn book forever. We love it. Sinners, that will be all for this week. We cannot wait for you to listen to us on Aqua War Part 2 on next Monday. You're gonna love it. We know. You know. Just come here. We have a date. Thank you, Sinners. You're the best. Because you can get enough of us. You can find us in all social medias as @ComeWithUsPod. Yeah, everywhere, the same name. You can find me on Instagram as I'm Sussy Nunez and on TikTok as I'm Sussy Nunez 1111.
You can always find me on Instagram @Reshea Reads and on TikTok @Charlotte Rivers 4. You know you want to. See you there, sinners. You have been good little angels. Thank you for listening. And remember, stay wicked, stay wild, and keep reading.
Always. We love you. Bye, sinners.